Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world, and welcome, Sparks fans, back to the last day, day 30 of our Sparkstember. Okay, there's still going to be some Sparks coming up in October. I have been in contact with Monty Mullen, and we're getting, we're working out. I'm going to be doing an interview for his channel, and plus, I'm going to do an extra video on November 9th to commemorate the 50 years of propaganda. It's going to be propaganda's birthday, so I'm going to make a special video in accordance with Monty Mullen and other YouTube channels that are is going to be celebrating propaganda. But yeah, so there's still more Sparks coming up in the future, just not as much. I'm going to be doing my regular programming. I'm probably going to be taking a break tomorrow from doing videos. Yeah, I'm going to take a day off tomorrow and resume on Tuesday with my regular everyday, me, style type of things where I won't be talking about Sparks, but I do want to talk about other things. And okay, I'm not, but I don't want to drag this out too much. Let's get into the rankings of the album covers. Yep, this is the last thing I'm doing for Sparkstember. It was the last thing I needed to do. I used as you know, I did all the 50 number one, the 10 out of 10s I got. So there you can kind of see it pretty decent there. Yeah. So those are the 51 top 10 out of 10 songs ranked from least best to best. And on the back, I utilized the other side. I did just the 26 albums. No more, no less. It's only the 26 that I've done during the Sparkstember. So I'm not putting in one hand two mouths. I'm not putting in there anything that's more than just those. I'm not putting like a net. I'm not putting just 26 official studio albums that I did. All right. So okay. Uh, so the ones that I do have, okay, I will be presenting. I will be showing up. But note there are some I do not have. Okay, I do not have number 26. I don't have it, but it is my least favorite one out of them all. Is Little Beethoven. It's just text and a crude little drawing of Beethoven. So that means that number 25, okay, it would be the seduction of Igmar Bergman because at least there's a face on there, even a cool profile. It is, I mean, it shows who they're talking about. So you have a face to identify, and I think it has just a lot more character than just a plain white, you know, with just text and a really crude drawing that's supposed to be. It's cool. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind it, but that yeah. So at number 24, and I do own this one, okay, and I would have to admit it would have to be Hello Young Lovers because there's really nothing going on with this except for a bunch of bunnies, And I have said before, it reminds me a lot of Presto by Rush, with their cover, where it's just a bunch of bunnies and a top hat and a bunny coming out of the top hat. So that is number 24 as my least favorite of the Sparks album covers. Then at 23 is music that you can dance to because I find that having them in the shadows and the way you can't really see the details of Russell's face. You can see Ron has such a chiseled face. It's indistinct. It's very distinctive. But with the picture on that, with Russell's face, I find it it's a little warped. It doesn't really look like him, and I don't think it does him justice at all. I think it's terrible for that. And then at 22, I don't have it is Terminal Jive. Terminal Jive because I mean, yeah, okay. It's a still again a white border with text, right? And there's a black and white picture in the center of the guys doing something at a carnival or wherever. I'm not even sure where they're at exactly. Is not. I don't find it all that interesting of a cover. I mean, it's okay, it's cool, but at 21, oddly enough, I kind of like interior design. I mean, just a little over terminal drive. At least it's inventiveness, and actually, I'm kind of mocking here. It really does display how bad the music is inside and how bland and boring it is. It really does capture, for me personally, the commercialism and so it's a really, I think again it's sarcasm on their part, that there's a meaning behind that album cover, more so that is saying, look, we're just a household name at this point. We're from we're from a Sears catalog. We're so everyday, and that album cover really displays that, and say content within is not going to be exciting and stimulating. It's going to be, you know, uh, homogenized and domesticated. That's what that cover is screaming to me. Um, I do have number 20 here, which is balls. Now, notwithstanding the beautiful adaptation I had to do to make this a whole cover again, okay? But looking at the images and the concept behind it, that's why it's at it hit the top 20, because at least 20, because because it is innovative, and it really, again, coming at the year 2000, you can see a giant two and three of those after that big two, okay. And it took exactly the title of the album to make an album cover like that, it's bold, it's really bold. So that's that for that. At number 19, which I own, I mean, I do like it really a lot, but it's the Franz Ferdinand Sparks collaboration, the FFS, because it is interesting, it is cool, but it's not as good as some of the other covers that are coming up. But I still like it. It's in the top 20. Woo. Yeah, every once in a while I will knock over that mic, but I don't care. I'll keep rolling. And so at number 18 is going to be I call it Half Nelson. I know it's called Sparks Sparks, and I would agree that the original cover is better and would probably have ranked higher on the list. But this being what it is, I mean, the only redeeming quality for this is Ron's face. I mean, look, 40% of that cover is wall. It's just a repeating pattern on a wall. It is not dynamic or striking at all. So, and you can see where they used it. They kind of, it's Photoshop, where you can see in the back that wall is kind of the patterning repeats three times. So it's, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, but it still can hit 18 because of the cool look on Ron's face and that heavy mascara. Um, and number 17, a Woofer and Tweeters closing. Especially the cover that's where is blurred. I think that shows it really shows the band has a fun side, and it really displays that especially early on, being their second album, it says, hey, we're fun. But it still didn't get the attention that it deserved at the time, I think. Probably, because having Kimono being their really breakthrough album, and so a couple of disappointing beginnings, and then, but we'll get to there. Okay, so and now at number 16, which I don't own, is plagiarism. I think that's hilarious. I think it's funny. It really it really exactly displays what you're gonna find content wise in the to basically to be cosmetically improved to look better than new, But some improvements might be little botched jobs, A hint, hint, wink, wink. You know who I'm talking about? This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Okay, okay, sorry. At at number 15, hits the top 15, is Big Beat. It's still a decent album. I'm not comfortable seeing Russell without his shirt on. It's kind of a turn off on with me on in public, but it's still a pretty interesting album cover, and I still kind of like it in my own way, in spite of Russell's bare chest. You know, yeah. So at number 14, which I do own, is a gratuitous sax and senseless violins. It's it's top notch, because it's in the top 15 because I love the color scheme. I like that it's bold and with the fonts of what the fonts they use, and the whole tabloid look of it. It's really striking, and I'm only judging the front covers. I'm not judging the inside stuff in that too. That might have changed the scoring a tiny bit, but no, this is what I wanted to do. At number 13, and I wanted to see it higher, okay, but it does. It's good at 13. It's their latest. The girl is crying in her latte. That hit to that hit to number 13 on my list of album covers. It's good, okay, it's good, but again, they're just sitting there drinking a coffee, reading a newspaper, looking every day and mundane, not really kind of hyping, hyping it up a little bit. At number 12, it's a steady drip, drip, drip. Again, I like it. I like that it's colorful. I love the I like the expression on Ron's face, like the mock. It's such a mock surprise look, It's so funny to me, and yeah, and I like how they incorporated the colors into it and everything. It's pretty cool, and how untouchable Russell is in the covers, you know. At number 11, from here on in, I do have most more of the album covers. So at number 11 is going to be number one in heaven. Here's the original cover I had gotten, and now with the uh, the 45th anniversary edition being cool and awesome. I always loved the idea of the spark plug there and the steely cold feel of it, of that picture. It really expresses the music inside of how it is, steely and cold and heavenly almost, and. And so at number 9 is oh oh no, I almost missed, sorry, I almost missed number 10. I really love introducing Sparks. I do actually love that cover because I think it's so comical for me, and first of all, calling it introducing Sparks after they've been around for a few albums already, and the whole like that they're mimicking each other on the back, that Ron is pretty much in the same pose that as that and the blue, that and having a blue, and you notice that blue comes up a few times on their covers, right? When you look at like propaganda or even hippopotamus, they like coming back to that blue whenever they can. um so yeah, and then at number 9, exotic creatures of the night, of the deep. Sorry, exotic creatures of the deep. And you notice again, there's a blue background. Just saying, they like to throw that in there. I mean, look how blue that looks too, in contrast to others. Uh, so And number eight would be In Outer Space because I do love that. I love that the whole picture of Ron getting pelted with pies. You know, that's always comical and it's really interesting. You know, and again, Russell unperturbed. At number seven, and I do actually love it. Get to number seven, and that's pulling rabbits out of a hat because yeah, it's just yeah. I love the that it's a painting. Okay, it's actually artistically made. It's not like a photo. I love again the blue frilly ribbon. There is a celebrating that blue. Is celebrating the blue, where the yellow and that little pattern being the mundane behind them, and it's showing the magic. It's showing the magic of what they're doing. Of they're pulling rabbits out of a hat. He's manipulating that puppet and throwing his voice and yeah, he's the one that's because he's of course he's the one that makes Russell sing. He's the one that he actually literally puts the words in Russell's mouth. So that's why that gets such a high score. And number six, and I'm glad it got at least in the top six is Indiscreet. I don't have it, but and I do have all the rest after this. I do have that top five, but I don't have Indiscreet. But it is a great cover because how it's not because it's not indiscreet. It's very apparent. Okay, and at number five, it hit the top five. I do love the absurdity of getting up and finding a hippopotamus in your pool, throwing in that beautiful blue, you know, and of course Ron leaning over wearing what he's wearing and and Russell being so chill in just a white bathrobe, or a house robe or whatever you want to call it. It's great. At number four is Womp That Sucker. Yeah, Womp That Sucker because I just love that. And according to Ron, not Ron, according to Larry Graves, this was a real boxing match that actually happened. Although they posed for that picture here in particular, but there was an actual 3 round boxing match where Ron won. This is one of the few covers, okay, where Russell is not being unscathed. He's not the one on top. Usually it's yeah, Russell gets spared, but not this time. The victor is Ron. I wonder what that tells you about that album. That there's that exchange. Okay, and my at number three is yeah, the dress, angst in my pants, because that dress and then that silver, the silver of that of what Russell is wearing too, is deliciously ironic and not and sparing us from that blue, going completely on the opposite of the blue and going red. Well, what does that mean too? Why is it red? Is there gotta be meaning behind it being a red background to a wedding between brothers? Why is he marrying his brother? Why is he dressed up in a you know that's so funny. Is this such a hilarious and it's like yeah, it's such an awesome album too. And so at number two, and it is and it saddens me that this is number two, and that would be Kimono My House, which means, of course, propaganda being the one, number one. And I explained why. It's just that it tells such a cool story, and just those glasses being on him and in those pictures, the way it makes him look to me. It's the funniest thing. It's the funniest thing, and it just elevates that cover so much being also that it is my favorite album. And I mean, even if it wasn't my favorite album, it still would be my favorite album cover, regardless because of those glasses. Okay, I have talked long enough. I do need to kind of skedaddle. I gotta get to going to work soon, but I could not leave here without bringing you the final episode where I go through the album covers. I needed to finish that before I leave for work. So I'll update you guys in the next couple of days on things here and there for sure. And I gotta let you go because I do gotta go. But anyway, I do this because I love you, and it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure for me to do this for you. So I don't take you guys for granted at all. If you consider subscribing to my channel, I will love you forever and greatly appreciate it. So, okay, I'm just closing now. So, everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.